Well, 2 days in a row, she's got her hair done. She's all fresh. Hello, Magica.
We can't see her.
I can. You can't see her?
No, I can't. Maybe she's at the bottom. Let me see. Oh, there she is. Hi, Magica.
Yeah, if you click the waffle, then you can decide where you put it.
Yeah.
I think you can see more people, so.
The waffle.
Oh, here comes somebody else. Alicia. All right. Look at that. Alicia might be presenting today, so.
Really?
Yeah, because we have a couple now. Sierra, I don't know where she is. She's usually here.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Alicia.
Good morning.
Are you ready to present today?
I suppose.
You suppose? I mean, it's not really hard because I can't see if you're reading or anything, so.
It's, you know what it is? It was just, it's getting back to that point, and from not working, like I'm totally out of my element. Like this hasn't been good for me for not working and staying busy like I usually am.
Do you want to go to work for me? I would love to stay home.
Well, I'm not trying to get the virus. I just am saying.
We supply you with gloves and masks and many cleaners. You will feel Wawa will treat you well, girl. You even get it.
Does anybody, this is a crazy question, but does anybody know of anybody personally who has gotten sick?
Yes.
So not personal?
Yeah. And my husband has lost 2 relatives and a good friend in New York City.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
So our nights have been like really crazy with the phone calls, and we didn't get to sleep until maybe about 3:30 this morning.
Well, I was kind of hoping that people were going to say, oh yeah, but they're fine now.
No, one of them is totally fine. There's one still in intensive care.
Oh, yeah, my sister, my older sister, she has it, and her husband, he's in the hospital now.
Wow.
And like their kids, but they just had fevers, but they're like good. But
the kids?
So yeah, she has like just 2 adopted and then 4 from, but they just have the fever as far as I know.
Wow. So I got really, at Christmas times, my sister was pretty sick, coughing. She's like, oh, I just have like, something bronchitis or something. And I said, okay, well, I don't want to get sick at Christmas time. Oh no, I'll be fine. Well, she sounded like death warmed over. And of course, on December 26th, the next day, it started. I got a sore throat and I was sick. My mom was there. She got sick. Now I had a flu shot, so it wasn't really bad. But I did get some over-the-counter medicine. My mom got a Z-Pack. My sister got a Z-Pack. So this cold that I had really lasted a good 2 months. It didn't go away till probably the beginning of February. And I'm thinking...
Possibly.
Well, I'm thinking because the virus was here.
Yeah, it was around since October.
Yeah, we didn't have a test for it. We didn't have a name for it technically, and so no one was really aware of it. So I'm wondering if my sister had gotten it, got us all sick. So when they ever have an antibody test, I'm going to have it done just to see if I, had it. But I don't know, can you get it again?
They said you can.
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of like the flu. You would get a different strain of it.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I was kind of hoping like, oh yeah, I had it and I got it fine.
No, that's what they said. You can get it again.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I'll stay at Herman.
I don't know how many people live near me, but I can tell you that Mount Air Chicken Plant has had 2 cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a couple. I mean, they all come into Wawa, but I know one of the guys there, and he told me yesterday that 2 of them had it, and that's on top of them having a bad case of TB.
Jeez. Which Mount Air? Is Georgetown or Millsboro?
I guess it'd be Millsboro, closer to Long Neck.
Oh, okay, down that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the where you work, Long Neck?
No, I work in the Millsboro Wawa off of 113.
Oh, right on the highway here.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I but like live 5 minutes away.
I'm there almost every day.
Oh, sandwich girl, right? I might come in for a
I'm
sandwich.
everything, girl. I put our truck. It'll be the best sandwich you ever ate.
Okay. I don't know about that. It sounds crazy, but there's the
Okay.
Exxon gas station in Georgetown where Route
You're
9,
already disappointing me.
they have super good subs. Best subs ever.
You're disappointing me.
I'm sorry, but it really was
Exxon?
good.
Exxon?
And big, thick onion rings. Gosh. So I cheated on my diet one day. And, so I had half the sub one day and half the next day. All right. Well, let's get started. So, Alicia, if you really are ready, do you have your PowerPoint up?
Do I have it up on my computer?
Yes.
No.
So you need to open your PowerPoint. I'll walk you through how to do this.
Okay.
Are we doing the Ethos PowerPoint? Is that what we're presenting?
No, she hasn't presented yet. So I want her to do some kind of presentation. Once you have it open on your screen, tell me.
Okay. Do I just go into my files, right?
Yeah, wherever you have it. And you don't have to make it full screen, just kind of open it.
All right. Hold on.
And I'm going to send a document to everybody. Okay. So I'm going to try this time again to send a document to you guys in the chat. Okay. Oh, I can't. That stinks.
Okay, mine's up.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure that out. So in the middle, you'll see the share screen.
In the middle of what?
At the bottom, it's a green button.
Oh, on Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, share.
Okay, and then you'll see a bunch of boxes. In one of the
it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, Jesus. All right, never mind. I don't know if, I don't think I can change video settings. I don't think I can change it now. Please. Screen share, there we go. Screen share, maximize. Yeah, they changed that. We just got an email because for some reason it was allowing people to hack into the system.
Yeah.
Enter full screen. So I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. It's like tying a tie when everybody's looking at you. You can't.
No, I know what you mean. Do you want to do it on Monday?
Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Find the spot. They gave us directions. I'll have to look at the directions and then
Okay.
figure that. So
No big deal.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
And the other thing they got rid of was the documents. I can't send a document this traditional way.
I have a question.
Yes.
Were we supposed to like scan in the annotated secondary article? Or are we just supposed to annotate our secondary article
Or which, oh, I
for
see what
today?
you're saying.
Yeah,
No, just annotate it.
okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so I'm going to send a document on D2L because that's apparently the only way I think I can do it. I'm going to put it in an announcement. I'm just going to call it documents for class. And just need to find it. Insert stuff. There we go. This will get you argument. Insert. All right, so I just published an announcement. It has one document in it. It says argument or not. All you have to do is click on that to open up the document.
He's actually doing it.
Is it working?
I don't see it. I don't know what you mean.
So when you go into D2L, don't go into content or anything. Just click on the English thing.
Yeah, click at the top, English 101. You'll see an announcement, and it'll have a document in it. So Amber, you got it, right?
It's loading right now.
Okay. It's a Word document. I'm going to put one other on, but this is what we need for the second.
I see it.
Did
Okay.
you send it on Outlook? I just got an email of it too.
Yeah, because you probably set it up for email notifications.
Heck yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that's fine. You'll never miss anything.
Nope. Not ever.
Did everybody get it?
Yep.
I don't.
Do you not find it, or you can't open it?
Okay. No, I don't even have the little dot up here.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, so let me share my screen. I'll walk you through how to find it. These are the technicalities of that. Okay, so when you go to the class and click English 101 at the top, you're always taken to the announcements page. And right here it says argument or not. All you have to do is click on that, and at the bottom of your computer, it'll open up.
Okay.
It'll download.
Yeah.
So I want to, this will just kind of review what we did last class. And I'm going to put the document on the screen as well. That way everyone can see it. So just a quick review. Last class, we went over what is an argument. And there were a couple rules or criteria. So what are the criteria to, to have an argument? Not to have an argument, but if something's considered an argument, what do you need? You need two things.
Evidence.
Good?
The claim.
Yes.
Rating utensil.
Okay, so you always need an evidence and you need a claim. You have to have both. There's a couple things that can't serve as evidence. You can never have it as evidence. What are those things?
Questions, command, and
Question-
exclamation.
Questions, commands, exclamations. Correct. And one other thing. If I say Bigfoot.
Supernatural.
Okay, yeah, and these are what we call extraordinary claims.
There we go.
And extraordinary claims deal with the supernatural. Things that are too good to be true. Things that are meant to scare. And things that have far-reaching consequences.
Such as?
So, for instance, the miracle cure for everything. If you know, you'll see these drinks. This drink will help you lose weight. It'll change your blood sugar. It'll make you happy. It'll take your dog out for a walk. Just take this drink. Advertising. Facebook has a ton of stuff. Google, if you search one thing on Google, it memorizes what you do and will then cater to your needs. So I know this morning I looked up exercise equipment, like dumbbells or something from Dick's Sporting Goods. I know later when I come on Facebook or whatever, there's going to be tons of different ads for exercise equipment because it knew I searched for this. And they all kind of work together. So far-reaching consequences is like the miracle cures, the miracle cure drugs, the miracle cure pill. Don't exercise, eat as much peach as you want, and you'll lose, 25 pounds in a week, just from this pill or the miracle drink. This is terrible. Does anybody like Dr. Oz?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, if Dr. Oz has it, it's probably far-reaching consequences. Like, I can't tell you in the beginning, every time I watch a Dr. Oz, like, oh, I got to go out and get that. Oh, I have to go out and get this. I have to go and get, coffee beans will cause you to lose weight. But it didn't. Raspberry ketones, that will burn, help speed up your metabolism. The only thing that caused was indigestion, and I had the taste of raspberry in my mouth, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no more Dr. Oz. He was, causing me to spend a lot of money. Okay. So we have 10 statements here. Some of them are arguments and some of them are not arguments. All you have to do is decide which is which. You can work as a whole group. I'll give you a couple minutes to,
I can't even read it.
Well, if you open it on your screen, honey, it'll be easier for you if you download it.
Okay.
Otherwise, let me see if I can. Yeah, I can't make it bigger.
That's okay.
Okay. So I'll give you a couple minutes. You can talk amongst yourselves. You can do it by yourself and then talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to get a cup of coffee and I'll be right back. Oh, Alexa said there's a big storm coming.
Big Storm Coming by Heavenly Elves from Apple Music.
Oh no, don't play music. Stop. Alexa, stop music. Jeez.
Oh no, now you've activated my Alexa.
Oh God. Alexa, set alarm for 2 a.m.
Very funny.
Not you,
Did you
dummy.
know that your alarm is connected to music? Next time, you can ask to set a music alarm.
Alexa, cancel alarm.
2 a.m. alarm cancel.
God. That's funny. I didn't think it would pick up that well.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you got. We'll do this. All right, so we have the Department of Transportation crash test show that there were fewer injuries to dummies and Volvos than to dummies and other makes of cars. Thus, Volvo are seemingly the safest car on the market. Argument or not?
I said an argument.
Correct, it is an argument.
Yeah, I did too.
What's the claim?
That's Volvos are seemingly.
Correct. Volvos are seemingly the safest car on the market. And then the evidence is the crash test dummies.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. It's always good, like from here on out, like we're going to always be looking at claims and evidence. And then, you'll need, this is like the first step of like a
Would
three-step
you
process.
unplug Alexa, unplug her back in?
Okay, number 2. In the past 2 years in the US, there have been more lawsuits involving pit bulls than any other breed of dog. Pit bulls are clearly the most dangerous breed of dogs in America.
It's an
It's
argument.
not.
You have argument?
I do.
I have not that it's not, but I don't think I'm right.
No, it is an argument. So, okay, let's look at it. What's the claim?
That
That
Pitbulls
they're
are
clearly the most dangerous breed.
And the evidence?
The evidence is in the past 2 years, there have been lawsuits.
Right, the lawsuits. So we have a claim, we have evidence, it has to be an argument.
I think I'm just biased on that one.
You must have a pit bull.
No, but I did growing up, and let me love the
This-
hell out of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're not worried about the actual content of it. We're just worried about. All right. So number 3, Sarah's mother put Twinkies in her lunchbox. Sarah traded them for Oreos. Hence, Twinkies are very unhealthy.
No.
It's not an argument.
Correct. It's not an argument. All right. I can't. All right. Number 4. Being bilingual will benefit students in a world that is increasingly multilingual, etc. Argument or not?
I said it was.
You said what?
I said it was.
That is correct. It is an argument. What's the evidence?
Gotta go outside.
That there's many jobs overseas.
Correct. Many jobs are overseas, moving overseas and communicating with these companies. Therefore, number 5, job advertisements state that candidates need a certain aptitude with computers. Some advertisements are only looking for carpentry work. Because I love carpentry work, I will apply for the computer jobs, even though I don't have experience.
It says because I hate.
Yeah.
So argument or not?
Not.
No, doesn't even make sense. The Big Bang Theory should therefore be considered extremely well substantiated because 10 new articles came out last month that provided new evidence for the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is very interesting and explanatory.
Yeah. I said that's an argument.
It is an argument, correct. Since I was raised to believe in ghosts, I know ghosts exist. Plus, it would be so thrilling if they really existed.
Nope.
Why?
Argument. That's a contradictory statement.
Yeah, and it's an extraordinary claim,
Extraordinary
supernatural.
claim. We can't, you know. Now, I did have a girl in one year, she 100% believed in aliens.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it was kind of hard to convince her that otherwise. But her boyfriend does too, so at least they found each other. There's a lid for every pot, put it that way.
Yes.
All right. Number 8. It is certainly much easier to use the metric system to calculate distances than to use the English system of miles, feet, and inches. Students who took a timed exam are quicker to finish problems, blah, 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 blah. Argument or not?
It's an argument.
It is an argument, correct.
Yeah.
Very good. Coors captures the taste of the Rocky Mountains, so you should drink Coors.
Definitely an argument.
That sounds like my husband's argument.
So it is not an argument then,
Argument,
right?
yeah.
Because
No.
it's a command. You should drink Coors. That's telling a person they should do it.
Yeah.
Can't be an argument. Like, because I said so. All
I
right.
want you to know I was joking.
I know.
Okay.
I'm hoping you don't have that kind of taste in beer. Ugh.
Oh, God, no.
Because
My
I
husband
don't.
drinks Coors.
Does he? I'm not an American beer person. Because I don't like skiing, I'm not going to buy the new pair of skis off Craigslist, even though they are a good price. I appreciate you pointing them out to me, though.
Not an argument.
No, it's not an argument.
Correct. That's not an argument. There's no evidence there. Okay. Very good. All right. Stop screen sharing. That works. Okay. So let me change to one thing now. This is jumping back and forth is always a little bit difficult. Good. All right. You see it. I need to move you guys over. You're in my way. Okay. So I want to finish chapter 6. We were almost done section 1. We went over this. Okay. All right. So we know what cannot be evidence, right? We know that commands, exclamations, extraordinary claims, they all cannot be evidence. So the question is, what can be evidence? And you really need to know this because in your final paper, you're going to have to look for evidence in the article. So you'll have to figure out what is the author's claim, what's he trying to argue, and how does he support his argument? Now, choosing the evidence is not super hard, but you also have to decide, is the evidence good or not? And you're also looking for those wonderful criteria for critical thinking. Is the evidence accurate? Is it relevant? Is it sufficient? Do I have enough of it? Is it correct? Is it accurate? Is it sufficient? So one type of evidence is what we call testimonials, and let me make that bigger for you. There we go. And testimonials are, like the word testimony, it's hearsay of people. You see that on advertising a lot of times. If people write a review on Amazon for a product or on television, that's what we call a testimonial. It's not bad, but what might be the flaw?
It's hearsay.
It is hearsay. So you are going by, people's personal opinions. That doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong, but you have to keep that in mind that might not be the strongest piece of evidence. And it's just like in court, they have eyewitness testimony. It's only as good as the eyesight and the memory of the person who's doing the testimony is, right? If you're talking about a 90-year-old lady who can't hear, can barely see, and she's on the 3rd floor of a building and looking a half a mile away, but can identify the person with the color of the jacket, I would be a little bit worried about that. So testimonials is evidence. It's not bad evidence, but it's not strong. There is better evidence. Facts and statistics. They seem to be like our strongest piece of evidence. But you have to be careful. People can manipulate this. So you can manipulate facts and statistics any way you want. So the only way that you can really verify that the facts or statistics are correct is to look for another source that has the same information. So if they were talking about the number of deaths, if someone was talking about the number of deaths from the virus and gives you some facts and statistics, okay, that's good. You can easily verify that information by going to the CDC website or to multiple places that have facts and statistics. Analogies. Analogies are comparisons. Oh, it's just like such and such. Again, that's a kind of weak piece of evidence. Hypotheticals. These are the what ifs. Well, if you did do that, then that would have happened. Again, hypotheticals is evidence, but it's a little weak because it's not real. It hasn't happened. Now, I know if I drop this brick on my foot's going to hurt. That's pretty obvious. But if I say, I'm going to take a nap, if I take a nap in the middle of the day, I'm going to feel great on Friday. I don't know that for sure, because that really hasn't happened. So sometimes hypotheticals are kind of
It
realistic.
depends if you're sleeping Thursday.
Well, right, exactly. What today doesn't have effect on Friday, shouldn't.
No, did you know though that that's not true for sleep?
What?
Okay, so the sleep that we all got last night doesn't, yeah, we feel tired from it today, but it doesn't fully affect you till tomorrow.
That's great, because I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night, so that means tomorrow I should feel like fresh and chipper.
Yep, you should have a great, fantastic day.
Can't wait for Thursday. Once we're past hump day anyway. Hump day is always the hard day. So always look for counter evidence. Sometimes people present arguments that go against what it says. So counter evidence is never good unless you're doing an argumentative paper like the last paper in 102, which you will all get to 102. You also need to be careful of assumptions. And we all heard, if you make an assumption, you will make an ass out of you and me, right? So you do have to be careful with assumptions. And then there's something known as fallacies. And fallacies are problems with logic. And the rest of chapter 6, what we're going to look at next, really does deal with logic. We're going to start talking about logic. So this is probably the toughest part of the course, is to understand the logic part. But we've kind of simplified it enough that, you know, if you understand what we do in class, then you'll be fine for the quiz. All right, so let me close that one out. Go over this. All right, so this is part 2, section 2 of the chapter. And section 2 deals with some terms. We have inductive and deductive reasoning. So the first thing you have to remember is, okay, you got to ask yourself, do I have an argument or not? If the answer is yes, that you have an argument, then you can look at, okay, what type of reasoning is being used? Is it inductive or deductive? And I'm going to kind of go over what that means. And I'm going to give this simplified chart. If you write the chart down, just always look at it, because you don't have to memorize this stuff, especially for the quiz. As long as you have it in the notes, it'll help you. So inductive means going from something specific to something very general. I'll go over some examples in a minute. Just know inductive goes from specific to general. Let's take a wild guess about deductive.
Goes from general to specific.
Very good. Deductive goes from general to specific. So they give you, it's not bad, in the textbook on page 192, that's the old textbook, it's the actual beginning of section 2. So it's chapter 6, section 2. In the old book is page 192. Everybody have it? So the first one, they give you an example of inductive reasoning. So I'm going to read that. It's at the top of the, well, almost in the middle of the page. You'll see evidence and conclusion. The electronics store at the mall has a fair selection but high prices. The big box electronics store near my house has a larger selection but even higher prices.
What?
3 websites I've checked have an extremely large selection and lower prices. So what you're having are 3 specific examples. So inductive goes from specific examples and then make a general conclusion. The conclusion then is, therefore, I am better off buying my electronics online. All right, that's a general conclusion, but you're using specific pieces of evidence to get to that conclusion. We'll go over some more examples, so don't worry. Deductive goes from general to specific. So on the next page, on 193, or whatever page it is in the new book.
203 in the new book.
203, okay, so we're 10 pages.
Thank you.
The generalization is here. All sports have rules. Okay, so you're looking for words like everybody, all, That kind of tells you it's a general statement. All sports have rules. Now, we're going to go to specific. Football is a sport. Therefore, football has rules. Okay, football is a specific sport. But we're starting with a general rule, and we're going to specifics. Students who attend class on a regular basis earn better grades. You attend class regularly, and all of you are earning good grades. All right. General rule, students, but now we're talking specifically about each of you individually. So at the bottom of page 203 or 193, we have 10 examples. Look at, let's see, I'm going to tell you which ones not to do because there's a couple tricky ones. Let's just do them together. I'm going to keep that up on the board because that way you can kind of refer to it. Specific to general, general to specific. And we'll do these and you'll get the hang of it. You'll understand once we go through some of these examples. My dog and my friend's dog love apples. I bet most dogs would love apple-flavored treats.
Ah, inductive.
Inductive.
Very good. See, we're talking about specific dogs first. My dog, your dog, and now we're going to a whole general thing. Guess what? I bet you all dogs like these kind of treats. Excellent. Since stars appear to be traveling away from us, and since the universe is suffused with background microwave radiation, there must have been a Big Bang.
I don't have that one.
Nope.
Oh, you got, yeah, the new book has a different one. So read
Yeah.
number 2.
The new book has the one, the students who regularly attend their college courses get passing grades. Oliver never skips a class. He attends regularly. Therefore, we can conclude that Oliver will get passing grades.
Okay.
Inductive.
Inductive or deductive?
Inductive. Inductive.
No, deductive.
Oh, wait.
Deductive.
Deductive. It is deductive.
Because
It
Oliver
goes from
is specific.
general, right.
Does anybody have the old book? No. Okay, good. You all have the new. All right. So yeah, there's a couple that are going to be different. Number 3, does it say stealing?
Yes, stealing is wrong.
Stealing is wrong. But Britta's friends have been shoplifting from local stores. Therefore, Britta should try to dissuade her friends from stealing.
Inductive.
So we're beginning with the statement, stealing is wrong. Is that specific?
No, it's general.
It's general. It's a general rule. Stealing is wrong. But then we're going down to Britta, and Britta is specific. So this is an example of deductive, general to specific. Number 4, is that the Red Cross one?
No, former president.
Okay, go ahead and read that because I don't have that.
Former President Richard Nixon had the Watergate scandal. Bill Clinton went through the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And Donald Trump has faced various scandals, both personal and professional. History 101 students conclude that American presidents are vulnerable to scandals.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
Inductive or deductive?
Oh, inductive.
Inductive, correct. We're using specific examples, Nixon, Clinton, Trump, and then we're making a general statement about American presidents in general. Very good. That's probably the only one that's different. Number 5 is germs.
Yep.
Since the fact that germs cause illness is well-founded, and since Carl is ill, doctors ought to find germs in his body.
I said that's deductive.
Yeah,
It is deductive because we're starting with the general statement,
General, then it goes
germs
to
cause illness. And then we're drilling down to Carl, who is specific. Good. Next one is students who plagiarize.
Yeah,
Students who plagiarize get sent to the dean. John plagiarized, so he will get sent to the dean.
deductive.
Deductive, correct, because it's students is general, and then we're going down to Johann, not John. All right. People who get their work done before the deadline deserve praise. You have that one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
inductive.
Susan should be praised because she completed her work early.
Inductive.
I can't, inductive or
No.
deductive?
Deductive.
In-
It is
deductive.
deductive, correct? Because people
People's general.
is the general statement, and then the second part deals with Susan, who's specific. Tell me which one this is. The speed limit posted is 55 miles an hour.
Oh,
I was going 75 miles an hour, therefore I got a ticket.
Deductive.
that's a deductive.
That's deductive because in general, the speed is posted for everybody. I, however, am specific and I got a speeding ticket. Okay. That's kind of not true. A little true. I looked at 100 sheep. They were all white. All sheep are white.
Inductive.
Inductive, correct. So 100 individual sheep, and then we come to the general conclusion that all sheep are white. Now, we're not talking about truth because sometimes that could be wrong. Number 9 is traffic cameras.
Yes.
Okay, when traffic cameras were installed at the intersections of Route 4 and 273, the number of accidents increased. Traffic cameras increase accidents.
Inductive.
Inductive, correct. So we're looking at specifically routes 4 and 273, and we're coming to a general conclusion about that. And the last one should be bullies.
Yeah.
Bullies need to be punished. Nelson bullies Bart. Therefore, Principal Skinner should give him detention.
That's inductive. Well, deductive.
Which?
Deductive.
Deductive, correct. Because bullies is everybody, and then Nelson is specific. Good. All right, so. Okay, here's an example for you. I went to
top.
What?
The top is not visible. The print is very large.
I can make it a little bit smaller, maybe. Oh. That better?
Yep. Much better.
Okay. I went to Biggie Burger last night, and the service was horrible. The same thing happened the last time I went there. Same thing happened the time before. So I conclude that the service at Biggie Burger was horrible. Inductive or deductive?
Be inductive.
I think that
Inductive.
because I think that is going from something. I think it's inductive.
So let's look. Oh. There we go. So we have specific piece of evidence number 1, specific piece of evidence number 2. Then we have specific piece of evidence number 3. So we're using 3 specifics and we're coming to a general conclusion.
Conclusion. Yeah.
Therefore, it is
Inductive.
inductive, correct. All right. So here's another example. All people are created equal. General statement. He's a person. She's a person. Therefore, both are created equal. All right? That's deductive reasoning. But we know that it isn't necessarily true. That there is sort of discrimination based on gender. Or there are inequalities, I'll put it that way. Maybe not discrimination, but inequalities based on gender. So we're not talking for these things whether or not they're real. We're just talking about the logic of it. Is it a logical argument? Right? Your claim, we still have a claim, and we still have evidence. The claim is all people are created equal. The evidence is he's a person and she's a person. And the conclusion then is therefore both are equal. And there's names for this, okay? So the claim, remember I gave you other words for claim. This claim is what we call a premise. And you only use premises when you're using deductive logic. Premise number 1, all people are created equal. Then we have premise number 2, which are minor, okay? Because evidence, and then we have our conclusion. So whenever you have deductive logic, you always have at least 2 premises and a conclusion. And you don't have to worry about too much because you'll see some examples of it. Uh, 193. So we did that one, inductive, deductive. That's good. What time is it? It's 9:58. All right, so I'm going to give you one more worksheet. I'm going to put it in the same announcement again. I'll just give you, so inductive versus deductive. And my computer, choose. There we go. Inductive. Okay, if you insert, if you refresh the page by going to the English 101, clicking that, you'll see a second document is under the announcements. And it says inductive versus deductive. And again, if you just click on it, it'll download it to your computer. You just have to know, once you click on it, you have to know where it downloads. Generally, it downloads to the bottom of the screen. I'm going to open it. view. And I'll make it 200%. All right, so we stop that, and then I'll share it again. So if you have it, that's good. If you've downloaded it, but I'm going to make it bigger on the screen if you haven't downloaded it.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, good. Okay.
I got it too.
All right. How about you, Maj? Alicia, do you have it? She's muted. Majika is frozen. So just, oh, wrong one.
This is the wrong document?
Yeah, that
Oh yeah, this is the high school sports, yeah.
it should be inductive versus deductive.
Okay.
There you go. I was shown the wrong one.
Magica, were you trying to say something?
I think she's frozen. Majika, leave. If you can hear us, just leave and then come back in because your screen is frozen. Okay.
The correct one starts with every single time I download a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what you should be seeing. So you need to, if you pull up that original chart for general to specific, specific to general, the easiest way to remember is it's always the opposite of the alphabet. That's how I always remember it. So if it's deductive, it's going from specific to general. The S actually comes after the G. Not everybody thinks like that. I think like that because I'm nuts. All right, let's see here. You just do like the first 4. Okay, so let's see what you have on this one. Oh, I can't. I forgot I can't move the box out of the way. Jesus. All right. Every time I download a song or a movie from a certain, I can look at my iPad. I can't see it on my screen because all your names are blocking it, and I can't move it because I have the cursor there. Every time I download a song or a movie from a certain website, my computer crashes. I've decided I shouldn't go to that website anymore. I should tell my friends to avoid it. Inductive or deductive?
Inductive.
Amber, say it again.
Inductive.
Correct. Inductive. I just heard the ductive part. Correct. Inductive. Very good. It's a good idea to read the fine print before you sign any documents. My real estate lawyer just gave me some documents pertaining to my upcoming house settlement, so I plan on reading them very carefully.
Deductive.
Correct. Deductive. Very good. High school sports teams that are made up of mostly seniors tend to do better in games against teams that have younger players. Since our lacrosse team is made up of mostly returning seniors and the competing schools' teams are made up of mostly freshmen and sophomores, we expect we will have a winning season.
Deductive.
Say it again.
Deductive.
Correct. Yep. Deductive. Excellent. Number 4. Oh, jeez. I'm beginning to wonder if my buddy has a drinking problem. During the last few parties we attended together, he drank too much and passed out. I know he's been late to work a lot of times because of hangovers. Plus, he told me he drinks alone because he's bored.
Poor guy.
I know.
Inductive.
Correct. Inductive. Very good.
Holy sugar.
Did you get it right?
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yes, because that one confused me for a minute.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'll have to look on your sheet because I can't move this up because I'm annotating it. And I can't read it, so. We know the saying, you get what you pay for. So we assume that it's something free, ...
Then the quality isn't as good. The online paper Huffington Post doesn't pay its journalists for their stories. As a result, many readers conclude that they should instead read newspapers that compensate their journalists for high quality reporting.
Okay. Inductive or deductive?
I think that's deductive.
It is deductive. Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, it is.
So,
Well, this is the one that has the claim, evidence, and conclusion, right?
correct. So, you have to know a couple things in order, when we go to chapter 7, you need to know a couple things, which you all can do so far. You need to know, number 1, is it evidence or not? All right. Number 2, you then have to ask yourself, is it deductive or inductive? Right? And so far you seem to be doing okay with that. And you can use that chart at any time because we're going to take that, next week we're going to take it one step further. Right? But if you feel comfortable in going, okay, it's an argument because it's got claim and it's got evidence. Oh, it's deductive because it goes from specific to general. Or it's inductive because it goes from general to specific. If you got that down, then, I'm not too worried for where we'll be going next week. You can finish those if you want. You don't have to. Those are just some examples. I do want to look briefly at the next paper and what is coming up and what is due. So let me go back to sharing the screen.
Let me go back to writing this down.
All right. All right, good. So we are. Let me look at the calendar really quickly.
Oh. Don't you do me.
So we are at this point, we're just finishing up week 8. All right. Um, you're you're working on your papers now, and the critical response essay is actually will be due Monday. All right. And just to remember, the critical response essay is just like the first essay, the last one, summary response. You're just adding that supplemental source. All of you did do your planners. I returned all your planners to you. Some of you, you might need, I wrote on the feedback, you might need to work on the thesis statement a little bit. So I am available today. If you want to, pop back in at some point and get help with the thesis statement, I can certainly help you come with it. I did make some suggestions, but I'm not sure if that's going to be clear enough for you that, you might need, me to actually help you with that. Just remember, your thesis statement has to talk about, do you agree or disagree? And then give me the specific points of what you were agreeing with and disagreeing. So you agree with the fact that, the author says experiences are more important than things, that experiences, the anticipation of an experience is actually more important than the experience, and whatever. So you're taking whatever your points you put on that chart, they really become the key ideas and the key points. Donna's taking a whole different take on it, which is interesting because she's disagreeing with it, which is pretty cool. But you want to put that in your thesis statement. So you want to make a general claim. The author claims that and says that, da, 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 da. However, that would be for Donna. You would do the however thing because you're disagreeing. You disagree that, and then say the 3 points that you're going to disagree with, that you're going to cover in your paper. And remember, in the thesis statement, you are actually covering those points in that order. And maybe, is that clear, or would you like me to, let's look at the sample.
So our only homework is our paper due on Monday?
Well, we're gonna have to start looking. Yeah, I didn't have time to look at the article. We're gonna look at the article. So if you haven't read the next article, do that for Monday as well. But I do want you to worry about your paper. We're good with time, so we still have 3 weeks left. We're good. What was I doing? You just distracted me here. Oh.
I'm really sorry. You were going to go over something.
Sample thesis.
Yes. And these things are never like perfect examples, but so in that one we have overall, Wise may oversimplify and still a little unclear of the points. I think he provides an interesting, hopeful, and well-supporting strategy of self-improvement. So yeah, I don't necessarily like this one. I like what we call a preview statement, where you tell me what you're going to write about in your paper, in your thesis. And then that becomes, each one of those become the paragraphs. Remember, you can use I, but only use first person when it's your opinion. Like, I find myself in total disagreement. Okay, that's fine. Where it's not your opinion, don't use first person. Remember, in the summary portion of the paper, which is in your opening paragraph, you don't use any quotes. You also don't need a citation because you already have it in the beginning. You say in the article, the title of the article, published in the date. So you don't need to later say Hamlin 2010 or 2019 or whatever it is. Save that for your paper. You need to mention the second article at least one time. minimum of one time. So this is really good. I like the sample because it does show you how to do the quotes. So we have the example here of this. That's because this is, we have WISE 2017. Just looking at the WISE 2017, can you tell me, is that a direct quote or indirect quote?
It's a direct quote.
No. It's
Well, isn't
indirect.
Wise the author?
WISE is the author. You always need the author and you always need the year.
It's
Okay.
about
The difference between indirect quotes, we don't have any quotation marks.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's an example of a direct quote. Here's the direct quote: struggle, etc. And then we have the paragraph number.
Oh, okay.
So it's easier if you don't necessarily directly quote, because you don't necessarily want to count all the paragraphs because we don't have page numbers on our articles. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you just can't get around it. And make sure you, again, look at the rubric so you know all the different things that are being scored. It's pretty self-explanatory. The introduction, so the summary section is actually worth 20 points. So your introductory paragraph alone is worth 20 points out of the 200. That's 10%. You have to have personal experiences. So make sure you talk about you and how it pertains to your life. That's worth 20 points. Addresses the questions in the prompt are what we talked about last class. Author's purpose, audience, bias, worldview. Everyone will get an automatic 20 points because you've already told me what source you're using and I've already approved it. So that's an automatic for everybody, those 20 points. And I'll point out here again, the word count is 825 to 1375. So try to make sure that you definitely don't go below it. I would try to shoot for 1,000. That shouldn't be too hard because you are using an extra text that you're going to be addressing as well. And you have worldview added to it. You have bias added to it. Your worldview and your bias, the author's and the author's bias. So you have more information that you're including in this paper. So just, again, if you look at the guidelines, you can use this here as like a checklist. Those are some great questions that you can be able to answer. If you answered all of those, there's no way you can really go below the word count. What time is it? 10:19. I got about a minute. All right. So let's now go to the critical analysis essay. Really, all I care about is the article. I don't know if I like that. You read that, Alicia? I can't hear you, honey.
You're muted.
There you go. Is this the one you read?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Wait, do you mean for the secondary?
No, this is for the last essay.
No, I didn't read it.
No, okay, good. I'm probably going to change this one out. I personally don't like that essay. So I'm going to change that out. I'm going to change it out something different today. I don't think I used that last time because I don't think it works well. So after tomorrow, I'll have a different article in here. Just read the article and annotate it. That's it. So you're only working on your paper. You're finalizing your paper. Remember, if you want to turn in a rough draft, that's certainly fine to turn in a rough draft. Just really get it to me before the weekend. So it is Easter weekend. I'm trying to have my goal that I'm not working over the weekend.
Do you want to buy Friday?
Thursday would be better.
Okay.
I know it's hard. Friday morning, if you're going to do Friday, then Friday morning, so I can knock it out and not do anything on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
All right. So let me stop share. Does anybody have any questions?
Not specifically, but I wanted to talk to you.
Okay. So if you don't have questions, then I'll say have a nice weekend. Enjoy Easter. Get your papers done before the weekend, and then you have the whole weekend free. Of course, you have other classes too. So if you have questions that you want me to help you with, then I'll help Amber first, and then you can come back. I'll stay on till about 20 of 11. If no one comes back at 20 of 11, then I will end. If you still need me, text me, either remind or through the telephone number, and I go to my office and I will sign on my office and help you.
Okay, I'm gonna go read your comments.
Okay. So I'll be on for a while. So if you want to read them, and then if you have questions, you can come back in and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy Easter, ladies.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy
everybody.
Easter.
Alicia, we'll figure out this presentation for next class.
Okay, sounds good.
If I can't, then I'll figure out something else.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Don't stress.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
All right.
what the?
Now, what did you need?
All right, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone because my computer's being stupid. There's just one thing I'm confused about. On the planner that you.
Are we talking about your planner?
Yes.
Okay, let me get it.
I believe. The comment was, haven't we talked about this? And then I looked back.
No, we didn't. It wasn't you. It was Sharonda.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was confused about because I looked back at my first planner that I turned in. So
yeah, no, it was
okay.
Sharonda and I had a really long conversation about it. Somehow I thought it was you that I was talking to. So
Okay. That part of the plan.
you're breaking up.
Is that part of my planner? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Let me double check. Let me pull it up. Not that I'm going to tell you yes and then. Okay, so assignments. Critical analysis. Critical response. Oh. I got to stop the recording.